Welcome to today's presentation about elections and voting. What exactly is an election? We are very democratic in our school. This means students and teachers can have a say in how the school is run by voting in elections. There are over 600 people in our school community, not counting the parents, and everyone has different ideas about how they think the school should be run. To make sure everyone can have a say, we elect student councillors to represent our ideas and opinions during SMT meetings. Every October, at the beginning of the school year, a new council is elected. All students from Preps 3 to 6 have the same opportunity to be elected in the school student council. Our student council has 15 students representing the classes in these preps, 1 SMT member and link teachers. What happens before the election? Candidates stand for election in each one of the Prep 3 to Prep 6 classes. Each candidate stands on behalf of a class group. In every class, you will have students who share the same ideas about how the school should be run. The ideas and promises of a candidate are set out in a document called a manifesto. Before an election, candidates will share these ideas, telling people what they would do if they win. They will try to persuade the other students in their class to vote for them by explaining why they think their ideas are the best. They will be allowed to talk in front of the class. They will try to persuade students from their class to vote for them to become their council representative. What happens on the day of the election? All students in Preps 3 to 6 visit the school's polling station in the hall to cast their vote. At the polling station, people receive a ballot paper with a list of candidates' names and the classes they represent. You mark an X next to the name of the person you are voting for. After the polling station in the hall closes, the votes get counted through the night by the SMT. And the new school student council is elected. Malta will also soon be having an election. In Malta, we live in a democracy. This means people can have a say in how the country is run by voting in elections. Malta has around 500,000 people living in it, and everyone has different ideas about how they think the country should be run. To make sure everyone can have a say, we elect MPs, members of Parliament, to represent our ideas and opinions in Parliament. This happens in a general election which usually takes place every 5 years. In a general election, people who are 16 years or over can vote for MPs, members of Parliament, to represent them in Parliament. There are many MPs in Parliament, and each one represents a different area of Malta. Candidates stand for election in each one of Malta's many voting areas. They usually stand on behalf of a political group known as a party. Political parties are groups of people who share the same ideas about how the country should be run. The ideas and promises of a political party are set out in a document called a manifesto. And before an election, candidates from different political parties will share these ideas, telling people what they would do if they win. They will try to persuade people to vote for them by explaining why they think their ideas are the best. They will talk on TV and the radio and will also meet people in their local area. They will try to persuade people to vote for them to become their MP. What happens on the day of the election? People all over Malta, over the age of 16, will visit polling stations to cast their vote. At the polling station, people receive a ballot paper with a list of candidates' names and the political parties they represent. You mark with a number in order of preference next to the name of the persons you are voting for. After the polling stations close, the votes get counted through the night. What happens after the election? The person with the most votes in each area, constituency, becomes an MP. The elected MP will represent the Maltese people in Parliament. The winning party that has the most votes will form a government. The leader of that party will become the Prime Minister. Whoever is elected into Parliament has a very important job to do, and it is not one to be taken lightly. As Spiderman's uncle once said, with every great job comes great responsibility, and that counts for our school student councillors as well.